Hello, welcome to Gia English Channel. Subscribe dong. Ngeri, ngeri, ngeri.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to all of you, depend on wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I will be discussing to you about teachers as transformative intellectuals, right? But before we continue discuss what does it mean, teachers as transformative intellectuals, I would like to encourage you to subscribe this video, share, like, and comment. In order you are going to get notification for the next video that I will be making. So I hope this video will be useful for you and you are learning something from this, right? So what does it mean, teachers as transformative intellectuals, right? I do believe you all have ever heard the concept of teachers as transformative intellectuals, and I think this refers to the idea that the educators possess the power to go beyond traditional roles of imparting knowledge and academic content. Instead, they have the potential to serve as agent of positive change and also as a transformation in their students' lives, and also as a transformation in the education system, and also even in society as a whole, right? And in this video, I will be sharing to you some key aspects of the teachers as transformative intellectuals. And I think the first aspect that I would like to share is about having critical thinking and analysis. Here, teachers as transformative intellectuals need to encourage critical thinking and analysis in their students, and I think they also need to have a critical thinking and analysis because they need to inspire their students to question, to challenge, and also to analyze the information presented to the students. And I do believe by doing this, teachers will foster a deeper understanding of subject matter, and also they will help the students to develop independent thought process during the learning and teaching activities, right? And the second aspect that I would like to share about being teachers as transformative intellectuals is teachers should be the promoters of social justice, right? So here, what do I mean by teachers should be promoters of social justice? As teachers as transformative intellectuals, they often, promote social justice and equality within their classroom, and here the students, the teachers have to strive to create an inclusive and supportive learning environment, especially where all students feel respected. Here we need to make all the students valued, and also we as teachers need to empower the students to express their thoughts and their ideas, right? So I think being promoters of social justice is also very important aspect in being teachers as transformative intellectual, right? And the third aspect that I think also is really important is being fostering empowerment. Here teachers as transformative intellectuals aim to empower their students not only academically but also personally, right? So here the teachers have to recognize the individuality of each student, and they also need to work to help them, to help the students to discover their strengths and also their unique potential, right? And I think this empowerment, can extend and also uh, inspire the student to be active participants in their communities and also to advocate for positive change, right? And the fourth aspect that I would like to share is about addressing real world issues. Here, teachers as transformative intellectuals, they need to engage the students in discussions, especially the things about the real world issues that is happening around this time. For example, environmental concerns, right? Human rights, social inequalities, right? So here the teachers need to use these topics as opportunities to teach critical concepts while also encouraging the students to have empathy and also understanding, right? And I think addressing real world issues is also really important to to be introduced to the students, right? And the next aspect that I would like to share, the fifth aspect is about cultivating creativity and innovation. And I think here the teachers as transformative intellectuals need to encourage creativity and also innovation in the classroom, right? They have to stand that nurturing students' creativity can lead to the groundbreaking ideas and also the solution that can give more benefits in society and in various ways, right? So that's what I mean by teachers as transformative intellectual must have creativity and innovation. And teachers also should have a lifelong learning. Here transformative intellectuals give model and also commitment to a lifelong learning. Teachers have to understand that knowledge is ever evolving, and I mean here they need to actively seek the opportunities to expand their own understanding to stay current and relevant in their teaching, right? And that's what I mean by lifelong learning. And I think the most important thing in this topic about being teachers as transformative intellectual is advocacy and leadership, right? So here teachers as transformative intellectuals may also take on roles beyond their classrooms, right? Becoming advocates for educational reform and also for change, right? And teachers may actively participate in educational organization, and also they must actively participate in community initiatives or policy making to influence positive transformations in the education system, right? So I think the concept of teachers as transformative intellectual, here I need to emphasize the significant impact educators that can have on their students and society as a whole. And I think by embracing their role, not just not just conveyors of information, but also as agents of change and empowerment. So here I think teachers can shape when they do this. They are able to shape their bright future for their students and also for the communities wherever they are and they serve, right? So that's what I mean by uh, teachers as transformative intellectuals. And as I told you previously, that applying critical thinking and analysis in teaching, I think is really essential, especially to help the students to develop higher order thinking skills and also problem solving activities, and also here will help the student to have a deeper understanding of the subject they study, right? And I think to apply critical thinking and analysis in teaching is really, really essential. And I think here also I would like to share to you some strategies. What should we do to apply practical strategy for incorporating critical thinking and analysis in our teaching, right? So the first, I think here we need to encourage questioning to the students, by create a classroom environment where students feel comfortable asking questions. They are going to have a self-confidence to ask any questions they've been confused. And I think by encourage questioning is really essential for educators or for teachers as transformative intellectual, because here they can encourage curiosity and also provide opportunities for students to explore more topics of interest, and also they need to seek more answers to their inquiries. So that's why um, in teaching and learning process we need to encourage questioning to the students, right? And we need also to use Socratic questioning. Here what I mean by Socratic questioning is to employ Socratic questioning techniques to the students. I think they I mean we are going to ask the students to think deeply about the materials. Here we can ask them to open-ended questions, and also we can um, ask them challenge questions that require evidence, and we can encourage students to analyze concepts from different angles, right? So I think by using Socratic questioning, students will be challenged to think deeply about particular issues, right? And discuss also multiple perspectives. I think it's really important to be applied in critical thinking and analysis, because here when discussing a topic, for example, we can present multiple perspectives. A student can present multiple viewpoints, and they also uh, can be encouraged to examine and compare different viewpoints, so they can weigh the strengths and weaknesses of each argument. So this, I think, is also really important in critical thinking and analysis in teaching, right? And I think critical reading analysis is also very important, where teachers teach students how to critically read and analyze the text, whether they are literature, scientific papers, for example, or historical documents, news articles. I mean, and I think here we are as teachers need to help the students to identify biases, identify logical fallacies, and also persuasive techniques. So I think critical reading analysis is also really important in critical thinking and analysis. And problem solving activities, in the previous videos, I also have ever discussed about problem solving activities. Here we need to integrate problem solving activities into the curriculum, especially where we can present real world scenarios or complex issues that require critical thinking and analysis to arrive at a viable solution. So I think problem solving activities is really important in critical thinking and analysis in teaching and learning activities. And I think the next important things that I think really important is collaborative learning. In the previous videos, I also have ever shared about collaborative learning, and I think here we need to promote collaborative learning environment where students can engage in discussions, they can debate, they can make a group project, right? They work together to allow them doing this. I think they can share their ideas, they can challenge each other's thinking, and also they are able to arrive at a more comprehensive conclusion, right? So I think that's really, really important to do collaborative learning in critical thinking and analysis. And I think the media literacy is also very important, because teachers who teach media literacy to help students critically and to evaluate information from various sources. And here we can show them how to distinguish between reliable and also unreliable sources, and fact check claims, especially before accepting as a true, right? And I think visual tools and geographic organizers is also very important to utilize visual tools such as concept maps or graphic organizers. The purpose is to help students to organize their thoughts, and also to organize the connections between different concepts, and also fostering and critical thinking and analysis, right? And by doing this, I do believe students can be encouraged and can be challenged to have more critical thinking and analysis. And also reflective journals. I think reflective journals here can encourage the students to keep reflective journals, where they can write about their thoughts, they can write about the questions, they can have insight related to the topic they are studying. Yeah, and I do believe this practice will help the students to develop metacognition and also self-awareness, right? So here we can apply critical thinking and analysis by reflective journaling. And I think debate and role playing is also very essential in critical thinking analysis, because here as transformative intellectuals, we can organize debates or role playing activities in the classroom, The purpose is to encourage students to argue different perspectives on particular issues, and I think this exercise will help them to develop persuasive communication skills, and also they can develop their understanding in different viewpoints, So I think debates and also role playing in critical thinking analysis is really, really essential. And also, we also have to encourage creativity, as I said at the previous video, and also the previous statement. We have to provide opportunities for creative expressions in the classroom, because by creative activities we stimulate critical thinking and also problem solving, as students devise innovative solutions, and also um, we can explore alternative approaches to teach the students, right? And for model critical thinking, being a role model in your interactions with students, I think is also very important. You can here share your thought processes, and also you can share how you approach problems and how you weigh different options before arriving at a conclusion, right? So that's why it's really important to remember that fostering critical thinking analysis is a very important thing to do, and even though it is an ongoing process, but I encourage you to be patient. You need to have patience to do this, and also you need to offer guidance, and you need to create supportive environments that values inquiry and intellectual exploration. And I think by incorporating these strategies, you can help your students and our students to develop essential skills for lifelong learning, and also for their success in their academic and personal lives, right? So that's, I think, another aspect that we can do as teachers to transform intellectuals, right? And I think promoting social justice when teaching in the classroom is also very important to us as teachers who transform the intellectuals. Promoting social justice is, very useful for creating an inclusive and equitable learning environment. By, we can do this by incorporating some strategies. Maybe we can actively support social justice principles, and we can help our students to develop empathy, to develop awareness, and to have a sense of responsibility towards social issues, especially. So I think, like, introducing culturally responsive teaching to the students is also very essential, because here we can acknowledge and we can respect the diverse backgrounds of the cultures and also experiences of our students, right? So I think incorporate culturally relevant materials. For example, they giving the examples, and also give perspective into our lessons. We can create a more inclusive learning experience, right? And discussing social issues can integrate discussion, can integrate social issues, especially racism, gender inequality, poverty, environmental concerns, and so on and so on. But if we are able to encourage open dialogues that allow students to express their thoughts and also to express their feelings while fostering a deeper understanding of these complex topics, and I do believe they can um, understand more about how important to promote social justice in classroom environment. And also we have to do encourage empathy, promoting empathy to encourage students to put themselves in other shoes, is really essential. They need here to incorporate activities that help them to understand and appreciate different perspectives and experience of others, right? And I do believe by doing this, the students will also have an ability to promote social justice wherever they are, and be an advocate for equity here also is really important to promote social justice, because be an advocate for equity and of fairness in our classroom. We can ensure that all students have an equal opportunity to participate and to succeed, and that's why we have to address any biases and stereotypes that may arise and emphasize the value of diversity. Okay, so that's why we have to be an advocate for equality. And I think inclusive language and material also is really important, because when use inclusive language and teaching materials that avoid perpetuating stereotypes or marginalizing certain groups, this I think very very essential. And here we can use diverse examples and representations in our teaching materials to reflect a broader range of experiences and also backgrounds, right? So that's why inclusive language and material is really important in promoting social justice. And I think also celebrating diversity can organize activities and events that that is really important, because celebrate the diversity of our students can emphasize the importance of different cultures, different languages, and also different traditions, um, uh, where we can foster an environment of mutual respect and also understanding. So that's why it's really important to promote social justice by celebrating diversity, and also community engagement. Here community engagement, I think, really important to promote social justice, because we can involve the students in community service project, that can address social issues, and also we can encourage the students to take an active role in making a positive impact in their communities, right? So I think it's really important to have community engagement to promote social justice. And of course, in promoting social justice, there are also a lot of challenge, especially for challenge discriminations. So here, address any instance of discrimination or bias in the classroom promptly. I think uh, it's important to be recognized. We can use these moments as teachable opportunities to discuss the importance of respecting differences and promoting social justice, right? And we also need to teach media literacy. I think helping students develop media literacy skills is really really essential, so they can critically analyze, they can critically interpret information from various sources and various angles, right? And I think this will empower them to to identify and to challenge media representation that perpetuates stereotypes or promotes injustice, right? And of course, by examining history from multiple perspectives is also need to be applied in promoting social justice, because here we can present history from multiple perspectives, including those that may have been marginalized or underrepresented, underrepresented by the environment. So here we can encourage students to question dominant narratives, and we can um, encourage students to understand historical events in order in broader context of history, right? And guest speakers and role model is also very important in promoting social justice. Here we can invite guest speakers from diverse backgrounds, or maybe from individuals that involved in social justice initiative, to share their experiences with our students. I do believe these interactions also can offer valuable insights and inspirations among the students, right? And of course, creating a safe space for promoting social justice. This also will foster a safe and respectful classroom environment where students feel more comfortable discussing sensitive issues and also expressing their opinions, right? And we also need to remember that promoting social justice is, an ongoing commitment. Yeah. So we have to continuously educate ourselves about social issues. We have to strive to model the values of social justice in our interactions with students and also colleagues. And I do believe by promoting social justice in our classrooms, we can help nurture socially responsible and compassionate citizens who are committed to creating positive change in the world, especially in our environment, right? So I think promoting social issues, social justice here is really, really essential. And being teachers as transformative intellectual also must have advocacy and leadership in the classroom. So here, I think it's really important to um, empower students to foster a sense of responsibility and create positive learning environments, as I said before, and I think some practical ways to incorporate advocacy and leadership principles into our teaching. And I think the first is about student voice and also student choice. Here we can give students opportunities to voice their opinions, to express their opinions and also their preferences in the learning process. And we can allow them to have a say in the class activities. We can allow them to have a project or and topics of studies. So I think this fosters is a sense of ownership and leadership in their education, right? So I think it's really important to the students to have a voice and choice in the classroom. And student-led initiatives, I think by encouraging students to initiate and lead their project or activities related to social issues, related to community service, or any areas of interest. We can guide and support them in planning and in execution, right? And I think by doing this, the student can have more leadership and also advocacy in, in their life. And also service learning in the classroom, implement service learning project, that involve students in addressing real world issues, as I told previously, within the communities. And I think this hands on approach will allow the students to develop leadership skills while making a positive impact, right? And we also need to delegate responsibility to the students. I think by delegating specific responsibilities to the students, such as group leaders, project managers, maybe even organizers, and of course we can rotate these roles to allow different students to experience leadership and opportunities. So this, I think, really important also to delegate responsibilities to the students in order they can have more advocacy and leadership abilities, right? And public speaking and communication skills, I think it's really important to have to be owned by the students, because here we can provide opportunities for students to to practice public speaking. We can provide effective communication to the students. So when we organize debate, we organize presentation or class discussion, students can take turns leading and presenting their ideas, right? So it's really important to improve advocacy and leaderships in students, and model leadership behavior, such as be a positive role model for leadership in our interactions with the students. Of course, is also very essential. We can demonstrate qualities like responsibility, integrity, empathy, and also active listening, right? So we can encourage collaborative decision making, and also we can encourage them to have a leadership reflection, education about social issues. We can invite the speakers, and we can encourage the inclusivity, set goals and monitor progress. We can organize and celebrate leaderships among the students, right? And I think by doing this, leadership and advocacy can take different forms in a classroom. But by nurturing these skills to our students, we can empower them to become active. We can empower them to be responsible citizens, responsible students who can later on positively influence their communities and their world, the world around them, wherever they are and wherever they live, right? So I think those are the things that I would like to share about uh, teachers as transformative intellectual, right? And I hope this information is useful for you. And do not forget, if you learn something from this video, please subscribe, share, like, and comment. And thank you for watching Gear English channel. Bye bye for now.
Ngeri, ngeri, ngeri.